Good morning, everyone. It's Susan, and today we're going to talk about research. And this is just going to be the first part in a series of how to do research, because research is something that you acquire over time. It's not something that's going to happen immediately. How you need to research and why you need to research everything. Unless you're absolutely sure because you've already sold it and you know it's a proven seller, I research everything. And even then, if it's a used item, those prices can change. The market can get flooded. Somebody could have posted a BOLO on items to look for, and now instead of being 20 items, there's 100 items. Price of the item has gone way down. So we're going to get started. I'm going to jump onto my phone and I'm going to show you how I do my research. And I picked an item that sold within just a few hours. Now I typically pre-pack all my items, especially my larger items. But this one, we just listed it yesterday and it hadn't had a chance to get boxed. So I'm going to show you the physical item, and then I'm going to show you how I did my research and why I priced it for what I priced it at, and who doesn't want to sell something within 2 hours. So the item is this Hoover Convertible U4107. It is vintage, and let's see here. It looked, when I purchased this, now this was in my death pile in my storage unit. I just showed it on a video recently. I brought it to the house and we just listed it. It is so cool. It has the bag. It is apart. It had very, 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 very little usage in it. I actually thought it was new, but then I did some more investigating and you can see there's some dust in there. Otherwise, it was immaculate. The beater bars looked great. I'm not going to pull them out. Old, you can tell it's that harvest gold. What a great item. And I had it just sitting in my death pile for over a year. So you can see I'm on my home screen, and we're going to go, I'm not going to actually show you the page ship now. I'll show you when we're all done with this. So basically you're on that home screen and there's that search bar. Now the first thing that I teach people is that less is more. So you want to see, is this just a viable item to search for? And we're going to hit search. And it's automatically going to come up to the active listings, and it's saying there are no items in this search. So we can jump right into sold. Let's look at the sold ones. And mine isn't even showing yet. It must take a while for it to catch up on eBay. So this is what it would have looked like before I actually sold the item. So still none are searching, but I am looking down here and it's got results matching fewer words. And it does look like some of these U-Series vacuums are selling. Most of them are pre-owned, 25, 43, 41. This one did sell for $100. And so the prices don't look too bad on them, not great. But we have the box, and ours is in really great condition. We're going to refine this research. And we're going to take out the model number. We're going to say Hoover Convertible. We're going to add a few more words to get a better search. Convertible, if I could spell, it would make for a much better day. So it pops up Hoover Convertible Vacuum Cleaner. That looks like a good term to search for. We took out that model number, so we're going to get more results. So it looks like if I go down to filter, there's 398 of them. We're going to search for highest, and we are going to change that category to used. And now we've got 50 results. We've got 50 that are currently listed. And it looks like the highest one out there is this Hoover Convertible Elite 4059. They're asking $250 for it. That seems a little high to me. $250 plus $108 shipping. And this one kind of looks a lot like ours, $150. So it looks like this is a pretty good item based on what I'm seeing here in the active listings. The lowest one showing, let's see here, it looks like then we get into the parts. So you got to take that into consideration. There's 50 listed, but not all complete vacuums. So now we're going to jump into sold, and this is where I would have said, okay, am I going to list this or not? So I go in here and 44 results. Look at that, an orange one sold for $355. It wasn't our exact model, so we're going to keep going. Those, I think, look a little older than our model. And so I came up with my results here. I looked, $150. Man, you know, I think that's looking pretty good. And so $150 seems like a pretty good price point. Now, the nice part about this is this vacuum was already disassembled. And so we're going to be able to ship it conveniently in a smaller box because we don't have to disassemble it because it's already disassembled. So we are going to go ahead and list this item for $150. Now, what I would do in this case is I would hit a sell similar for one that I find that is close to what I want my listing to be. I do look for listings in the sold because these are proven sellers, right? If it's in the sold, we know that was a good title. The customer was able to find this vacuum. So I am looking here, heavy Hoover convertible 700 heavy duty vacuum. I don't know if mine's a heavy duty one or not, but we know ours is vintage. And so I think we're going to go ahead and go with this listing here. We can add some keywords to it if we like. So at this point in my research, some people, and this is what I used to do, they would actually just go in and they would say, oh, this is a great item, and they'd set it aside. And what would they have to do? They'd have to look it up again later because it was sitting in their death pile. I no longer do that. It took me a while to break my bad habit. So now I immediately go into the listing and I do a sell one like this. You don't even have to do anything to this listing, but the one thing I would tell you to do right away in this listing is go down there and change that price to what you want to sell it for. Well, so we're going to go into the pricing, and we're going to get rid of that auction button. I hate that eBay defaults to that on your phone. And then I'm going to put, I want to take $150 for this item, more options. I'm going to say I'm going to allow offers. That's pretty much all I do on my phone at this point because I'm going to finish this listing on the desktop. I'm going to guess that this is going to cost me about $25, $30 to ship. I kind of guesstimate my shipping. I don't do calculated shipping. Calculated shipping is probably a better way to go, especially when you're a beginner and you're not quite sure on the shipping, because shipping is another hard area when you're first starting to sell on eBay. And then I always promote everything. And then basically what I do is I save that for later. So the key takeaways here are you have to do a ton of research. You just never know. Oh, I told you that I would show you how much this vacuum cleaner sold for. Let me show you that real quick. So I told you at the beginning of this video that I would tell you how much this item sold for, and you can see that this item actually did sell. So I am at my homepage of my eBay, and I'm going to click on Paid Ship Now. I've got two items sitting out there, a Coach bag, and then you can see I sold this Hoover vacuum cleaner. I got full asking price of $150, and the buyer paid $30 in shipping. You can't just assume if you are in the active listings whether an item is worth selling or not. And just because your model, if it's something old, doesn't show up, doesn't mean that it isn't worth something. Now, I probably did more research in Terapeak to come up with whether I was going to sell this item or not, but I could kind of tell that that U series seemed pretty popular. I did put prop in my title, so there's a really good chance that this sold as a prop for some kind of a set, or who knows why somebody wants this. Maybe they just like old convertible vacuum cleaners. Who knows? And as resellers, we really don't care what they do with the item, do we? And it didn't end up in the dump. Some people would think that this was trash and they would just throw it away. But somebody wanted it. Not only did they want it, they paid $180 to have this item. And that, of course, included shipping. So here are my key takeaways. Whenever you're doing research, start with less keywords than more. Do not put keywords up in that title when you're doing your research, like and, the, leave the color out. Maybe you're looking for a Nike specific sports shirt. Don't worry about the color so much or the size. Just see, is there opportunity to sell this Nike shirt? You can then add more words to your search and then you'll get a smaller amount of listings, and you'll be able to see, is your size, is your color, is your model, is the color of your model something that people are interested in? Because all those factors come into play. And so you have to continually look at the active listings and the sold listings. What is that sell-through rate? If you don't understand sell-through rate is basically going into taking that research keywords that you use. eBay will show you how many are actively listed. And then if you go in and refine through that filter, as I did, and you click on sold and click on sold, you're going to see how many of those items sold. What you're looking for basically is you're going to take the number of sold items divided by the number of active listings. Now what you're looking for is a number greater than 1. A lot of people talk in percentages, but maybe it's easier if we just look at it like that. So we're looking for a number that's greater than 1. Have we sold more items that are currently listed? Then we know this is a great item and that we want to sell it. If this item is below 1, is it just because it's a unique item and it just takes a while to find that unique seller? Don't let that discourage you as well. If it sells, get in there and get that title listed correctly with all those great keywords. And we'll do another video later talking about the title specifically. But right now, what I've seen when I've taught people how to do eBay is they're looking at the active listings. They're not always looking at the sold listings. They're not taking into account, is their item used or is their item new? And all of those things matter. You don't want to be at the lowest end and you don't want to be at the highest end. I guess you can want to be at either of those ends, but if you're at the highest end, it's going to take you a while to sell. And if you're a new reseller, you're probably not going to sell it that quickly. If you want to sell your items quickly, be at the low end by all means. And whatever you do, I'm not a firm believer in auction. I see way too many people sell stuff at auction and they really get a low price. So when you are looking at doing your research, take that into account as well on those low items. Did they sell at auction? Probably. If you do your research and you scroll down, you're probably going to see that those items that sold for on the lower end, they were an auction item. They weren't a best offer or buy it now auction. So I'm not sure why eBay keeps promoting the auctions. I don't think that's where the platform is. I do think that you need to offer best offers. I think it's more of what people consider a negotiating platform, such as Craigslist, such as OfferUp, such as OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace. People want to feel like they get a deal. So if you need to mark it up a little bit to give somebody an offer, do that. These are all key takeaways that you need to think about when you're doing your research. Make sure you're comparing the comps to the active listings. That's number one. Make sure that you're comparing apples to apples. Is your item used? And are you searching for used items? Is your item new? Are you searching for new items? Please ignore Jack. That is my bulldog. Let's see if I can get him in the photo. Jack, can we get you in the picture? There's Jack. Jack! There he is. Did you see him? Yeah, that's Jack. And so that's the barking dog that you hear in the background. Be successful on eBay. I want you to be successful. I want this side hustle to be successful. I want your side hustle to turn into a full-time business. And you can do it. Anybody can do it. But take the time. Take the time to learn how to research. That is key. That is number one. Well, I think I have beat that horse. Maybe a dog would be better. I would never beat my dog. I love my dogs. My dogs are my babies. Anyway, so thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with me to the end. And I know I'm long-winded, and I hope you got some good key takeaways. be sure to leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you think I'm crazy. Tell me if it helped. I really want to help you. I really want you to be more successful. And so, but research is key. It's number one. Do your research. All right, that's it. I'm not going to say that again. I hope you all have a groovy day.